think we're ready.
Ready as we'll ever be.
Got my water, got the show rundown, got the light. Yeah, I think we're good to go. So let's do it. Welcome to the Eternal Baseball Podcast, our 95th episode. Woo, pretty slick. And dig it, lucky you, they're all on YouTube. So if you want to go through them chronologically, we really hit our stride about show 70. So,
you can enjoy our entire catalog.
Yeah, maybe start at 70, or check out the early bits. Our rookie year was good. But we appreciate you joining us. It is the Eternal Baseball Podcast. We call it the best 60 minutes of baseball you'll see all week, and that's true whether it's December or spring training or the middle of the MLB season. I guarantee you, our hour of baseball is better than any hour of baseball out there. And we have a good game for our game of the week tonight. It's Orioles at Red Sox, and they are the two wild card leaders in the American League. So, potential playoff teams and natural rivals and lefties on the mound tonight. And I'm sorry to say they aren't household names, but they are good pitchers. Carl Weilman for the Baltimore Orioles and Dutch Leonard for the Boston Red Sox. Now, these guys were actually contemporaries. Although Weilman would have pitched for the St. Louis Browns back then, who became the Baltimore Orioles. But his career was 1912 to 1920. Dutch Leonard was a Red Sox from 1913 to 1918. So who knows? Maybe they're old buddies or nasty rivals. We'll see how it plays out today. If you're new to the show, thanks for joining us. I'm Mark. That's Roto. We're the architects of Eternal Baseball, what we call the best baseball ever. The best players of all time, all at their peak simultaneously competing for a Eternal Championship. And we are exactly 100 games into the season. And my life hack that I figured out is instead of, because the game of the week is the first game off the Monday schedule, but that left me to sim the entire day after we're done with the podcast and get up for work tomorrow. So I've been simming tomorrow today before the game. And so this will actually be the last game off the Monday schedule. So if you're a diehard and you want to peek ahead, you might see how your team's going to do tomorrow.
Spoiler alert.
Tomorrow's scores today. That's what we bring you on the Eternal Baseball Podcast. One note we did want to throw out there, Rose is doing a real good job throwing up birthdays and player retrospectives. And one of the guys for today, it's a little sad, Royals shortstop UL Washington. Today's his birthday, but he actually passed away last week. He was 70 years old. It was complications from cancer. And I didn't know that much about him, read a little bit about him. And I guess he was famous for his toothpick.
Very famous. Yeah.
He actually played on the field with a toothpick in his mouth, which for shortstop, yeah.
You got to make sure that infield's raked.
You are one bad hop away from never using a toothpick again. But kudos to him, and obviously we honor his career. And sorry about his passing. Yeah. In Eternal Baseball, though, this week, a couple things we're going to get to. A bunch of small hitting streaks. We'll see one of them tonight. Manny Ramirez for Boston. He's on an 11-game hit streak. Freddie Freeman's on a 10-game hit streak. He's still a Brave in Eternal Baseball. That's until he's more Dodger than Brave. I'm not sure that's even going to happen. Yeah. And Cecil Cooper up in Milwaukee, a 10-game hit streak. And some teams actually scuffling right now. Oakland's dropped 6 in a row. Washington's dropped 5 in a row. But we'll get into that as I bring up the weekly tracker here.
Yeah, we had a ton of comments. Welcome, Cameron, Rob, Lester, Dave.
Hang on here. Let me get the crew. So I'm sharing the screen, but...
Yeah, sorry, Lester. No batting helmet today.
Yeah. And pinched his brain last week. We all had the batting helmet.
I lost about 10 IQ points there.
But we got Cameron Fletcher.
Can't spare him anymore.
Hitting lead off. Rob Irizarry, Yankee fan, is rooting for a meteor to hit Fenway Park. Lester's with us again. Good to see you, Lester. Dave McDonald's here to root on his O's. Yeah, here we go. Did I share the audio? Not yet, but I will. I'm sure you can hear me. Oh, and Hector Ortiz, former Royals catcher, passed away as well. So tough week for Royal fans.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay, so looking at the week that was, way out here in week 17. So your rough weeks, your 1-5s, belong to the Orioles that we're going to see tonight, and Diamondbacks, who've had a rough year all told. Milwaukee 1-5, Montreal tough week 1-5. Way down there at the bottom, the Cardinals, the best in the National League, took it on the chin this week at 1-5, and the Texas Rangers have had a tough week and also had to go to New York and play the Yankees. That didn't help. Big weeks for the Birmingham Knights at 5-1. They're running away with the AL South as usual. The Houston Astros are a great story, 5-1, and they've won their last 5. And they have clawed up from real mediocrity. Well, no, clawed up from bad to mediocrity, but that's good enough for first place in the National League South. So they're tied with the Braves at something like 48-52. Like, wow. Yeah, that's actually what it is. So neither team's great, but they're competitive, and somebody's got to win that division. So, and remember in Eternal Baseball, when we expanded from 30 to 30 MLB clubs, we added in the Birmingham Knights and the Montreal Expos, which required a little bit of realignment. And that's why Houston is back in the National League and Milwaukee is back in the American League, at least in our neck of the woods. Also, the Pittsburgh Pirates, who've had a really good year, they're 5-1 this week too. And that's kind of the week that was. Here's the scoreboard, or the standings. Sorry. So we talked about this a little bit in the Eternal Baseball newsletter. Came out on Saturday. You can sign up for that for free at eternalbaseball.com. And what we're always rooting for every season is competitive races, right? We've had a couple seasons where things get wrapped up early, and then it's kind of it's a little dry waiting for the playoffs, especially before we added 2 wild cards to each league. So the teams that are salting it away pretty much, the Birmingham Knights in the AL South, they're up 16 games. They almost always crush that division. The 2-time defending champion Yankees have the best record in baseball, and they're 11.5 games up on a really good Boston team. So it shows you the strength of that Yankee team. But Mickey Mantle's lost for the season to a knee injury, and Joe DiMaggio got hurt this week. Oh, he's only going to miss a couple weeks. But the beautiful thing about Eternal Baseball, and it's not Yankee specific, Mantle goes down, DiMaggio goes down. They call up Bernie Williams to play center field. So the depth on, especially the truly vintage teams, is ridiculous.
He was on tour somewhere in Europe.
He's playing in Columbus. Yeah. So I'll be king. And Philadelphia is about to put away the NL East. The Mets and Expos are both 9 and 11 games back, so they don't show any sign of slowing down. Elsewhere, we talked about Atlanta and Houston tied atop the NL South. The NL North is the best division in Eternal Baseball, with St. Louis leading, and Pittsburgh and Chicago both 2 games back of St. Louis. So St. Louis has come back to the pack a bit, but Pittsburgh and Chicago would be your NL wildcard teams if the season ended today. And then last place Cincinnati is 57-44, right? Not bad, but 10 games off the pace. Out west, the Dodgers and Padres are tied atop, like I said, the NL West. And the Giants showed some sparks of life this week, but they're so far back, 8 games back. It might be too late for San Francisco. Again, 62 games to play, so it's possible, but 2 teams to catch. Where else? Out in the American League North, Detroit's up 3 games on Chicago, 4 games on Cleveland. And out west, which is sort of a mediocre division, hate to say it, the Twins, the Twins hit like crazy, but they are Walter Johnson and pray for rain. Like, they're pitching. I think Jim Cott is their second best pitcher, and his ERA is like 5.2. So it's not getting done in Minnesota. The Johan Santanas, the Burt Blylevens.
Look at Seattle though, hanging around.
Seattle's hanging in, but as we mentioned in the newsletter this week, they lost Griffey for about 3 weeks. So, and the Dodgers lost Duke Snyder for a month. So, center fielders take your vitamins and wear your seatbelts because it's open season right now.
It's like being a drummer for Spinal Tap.
Exactly, man. It won't last long. So that's what we've got going on right now. Huh. Cameron Fletcher says he's hearing a clicking noise. I'm not sure. Anybody else hearing a clicking noise? Because
might have heard it a little bit. It's
here,
I'll move my mic a bunch. Is that me?
I'm not sure. I think I closed everything and then I found Photoshop. So I'll kill Photoshop. Maybe that
is your mic maybe hitting your like a zipper or something?
No, it's quite a ways away. So not sure. Hopefully we can work it out, or maybe the game audio will go over it. We'll take a look. But right now it's time for baseball. So let's pop this up. Here you go. Screenshot that scoreboard and place some bets for tomorrow. But for us, we're interested in Baltimore at Boston. Look at Fenway Park. So nice. Okay, so both human. That's good. We'll hide this guy, which I often forget. Boog Powell hurt. That's a shame. Everybody wanted us to pick a Boog, but we're not gonna. But the pitchers are Carl Weilman. Here he is. And here's something fans may not even be aware of, but Barney Pelty here, who's a vintage pitcher, wants to pitch like every third day. And what it's telling me here is that he's started 25 games and snuck in relief in 6 others because he just can't stand not being on the mound. So when it tells me usage, it means he's on pace to pitch more than he ever has. And when that happens, there are usage penalties for guys who are essentially being overused. So Barney Pelty, who's their best starter, may miss a couple starts here down the way, or they may just ride that horse until the wheels fall off. And then he may not be available the last couple weeks of the season, or would be at a serious penalty. We'll see. We'll see how Baltimore plays it. But it is Carl Weilman. And then over here, it'll be Dutch Leonard. All right, so start with Boston against left-handers. And we are the home team, so we'll be these Red Sox tonight. So I don't know how many at-bats that is, but Xander Bogaerts has kind of gone nuts. Nomar's really good too, but Nomar has positional versatility that he actually earned later in his career after he left Boston. So Nomar could also play a decent third and a good first base. So we've got some maneuverability if we want to keep everybody in this lineup. But I'm pretty sure it's with Ted Williams and David Ortiz, your 2 monster left-handed hitters. Do you hit them back to back, or do you split them up with a right-hander in the middle?
Let's just go back to back.
All right. So is it Ortiz cleanup and Williams third?
Sure. Perfect.
All right. So Ortiz might even play first. We'll see. It's a terrible first baseman, though. That's my first bad idea of the night. So maybe Ortiz will just DH here. There we go. All right. So, okay. So our on-base percentage against left-handers, aside from Bogaerts with his limited at-bats, Mookie Betts is the best qualified guy. And there's another thing, too. Mookie doesn't qualify as a shortstop yet. The Dodgers are experimenting right now. But he does qualify as a second baseman. So that's an option. And he also qualifies in center field.
I mean, unless you really want Marty Barrett, your call.
ASU, baby. Sun Devil.
Was Marty Barrett ASU?
Yeah, he was. The 86 World Series MVP. Before the Mets rallied, and they took that away, and they never announced it, even 1 out early, ever again.
That's hilarious.
Poor Marty Barrett got announced as the World Series MVP.
Did they actually announce that prior to?
Announced him, yeah, in Game 6.
Wow.
Right before the Mets, because that Mets rally was ridiculous, right? So I get it, but yeah, they'll never do that again. I hope somebody made him a faux trophy to keep in his house, right? It wasn't his fault. Anyway, so Mookie gives us lots of versatility. He plays a good center field, too. Just in his heyday, Jackie Bradley Jr. was incredible with the glove.
That's right.
So Jackie Bradley Jr. ain't making the eternal baseball Red Sox. So We've got some options here.
I forgot about Pedroia. We got Uke. We could get Uke in there.
They got a lot of talent.
All
So it looks like Nomar is actually rated a better shortstop, and his numbers are probably a little more legitimate than Xander Bogaerts. Just that Bogaerts he's hitting 500. So I'm pretty sure that's 3 for 6, not 40 for 80, right? So maybe we'll get Nomar in here.
We got to get Manny in there to keep that hit streak going.
Manny's got his hit streak going, so we could go nice and easy here. Ted's in left. You know what? If we put Mookie in center, or probably more than second base, that lets us play Mo Vaughn. How are we going to do that?
Yaz scuffling, huh?
Yaz is scuffling, so he actually got put inactive this week. If we play Mookie at second base.
No Pedroia?
Well, I don't think they have another option for center field. I'm trying to figure out, you know what? We may have to bite the bullet and keep Ortiz at first to let Rice play. Yeah, you would definitely put Rice in right field, and then Manny would DH. But okay. Mo Vaughn's on the bench. Hate to say it. A lot of talent in Boston. Let's see who we got.
Rich Gedman.
Catcher, second and third. So, we can activate Rafael Devers because Wade Boggs is hurt, I think. And maybe we don't use Fred Lynn today. So that gives us Devers at third. We need a catcher and a second baseman. So it could be Joe Cronin if we activate him, but I'm kind of partial to Dustin Pedroia, the Sun Devil.
Sounds good.
And then catcher.
Looks like it's Mike Stanley. Come on down.
Wow, he's having a rough year, but it's better than Veritek. Look at Veritek against lefties. That's god awful.
Cowboy up.
Yeah, cowboy down, more like. Okay, Mike Stanley. Come on down. All right, now.
Looking good.
Baltimore. Poor Boone Powell hurting. So it's funny because they have they have Chris Hoyles, who's better than most people remember, and they have Adley Rutschman actually already makes the O's. He's so good. But their best catcher, especially against lefties, is Gus Triandos, who played in the 60s, I think. And he's killing lefties.
Gotta get Eddie Murray there, 3-hole.
Eddie goes 3, and then I don't think we can play Harlan Cliff. We can DH him, but if you don't play Brooks Robinson at third base, I'm not getting into that.
Yeah, you gotta get Brooks and Calvin no matter what, right?
Yeah. So let's do Harlan will lead off at DH, so Baltimore doesn't kill us. Ripken will hit second. Wow, Nick Markakis killing lefties. Well, he's okay. And then Ken Williams is like 2 back of the home run lead, hitting 190 against lefties, but slugging 466. So
sounds good.
Ken Williams, he can actually play center if we need him to. He'll play left. Brady Anderson, it's 3 lefties in a row. Let's get Brooks in there. Brady in center. And now we need a second baseman. Looks like it's Melvin Mora based on glove only. Another underrated guy. All right.
Looks good.
Looks like we're ready for baseball. Let's fire it up.
Wow, I didn't realize Godzilla trashed Fenway.
Oh, I was checking that.
They're playing to that New York audience.
Right? I mean, you've been to Fenway, right?
Yeah.
What's your honest impression?
It was what's the real estate term when there's an old house that needs to be renovated?
That character?
It has good bones. It had great bones.
Man. Yeah.
I don't hear any sound either.
America's most beloved ballpark. Let's see what I can do here. Because I have sound in my ears. Let's see. Maybe I didn't share the audio. That could be it. Hang on. Stop screen, present, share screen. I thought I had the audio. Let's see. Oh, it resets when you change it. Here we go. Better?
It needs to be turned up a little bit, I think.
All right, let's see here. We got options.
Vaguely hear the crowd.
Preference, video and sound. Turn that ambient crowd up. Turn that ump up. Rally sounds. That's good. Oh, look who's here! My cat is decided to invade. Hey, Colin, you want to get with it, buddy? Better?
Here we go. Yep.
Okay. This is the cat leaving the podcast. There you go, brother.
We're gonna do numbers.
He's gonna come.
Cats always do numbers,
dude. He's gonna be right back, right? Because come on, he is cat.
And yes, okay. Cal does get days off in Eternal Baseball.
Ooh, that's a good point.
There are a couple seasons where Cal could have probably used a couple days off.
That's a good point. But he was the guy who brought baseball back, right, after the strike and all. So originally, as a Yankee fan, I was rooting for him not to get it. And then I'm like, he's a 6'5" shortstop, right? Like, so his 21-31 was a lot harder than Gehrig's 21-30 at first.
Yeah. I think I told this story before, but I actually was in Fenway watching a game on the night he broke the record in Baltimore. And they showed it on the big screen, and he actually got a standing ovation in Fenway.
I mean, I was living in D.C. around that time. We went to his last game ever, which was awesome, and saw Brady Anderson strike out on an eyes-high fastball with Cal on deck.
Oh, my word.
Never have I ever heard the air sucked out of an arena more than that.
He should have just motioned to the pitcher to hit him in the ribs, right?
Yeah. Well, and the pitch before was absolutely a strike, and they called it a ball. And I forget who the pitcher was, but the pitcher was like, all right, I get it. I totally get it. No problem. I'll throw the next one 10 feet high. And he did.
Oh.
Got it. Oh.
Just come on.
All right, so let me change. I forgot to get the heads bigger on these guys because they're too small.
Oh, Cameron has an interesting. I didn't realize that, huh?
Oh, let's see this. Oh, okay. Wasn't aware of that. And there's also the game in Baltimore where the power went out because Cal wasn't there on that.
I love that's a great one.
But I digress. All right, let's see. We're going to try as big as the heads can get. That's too much.
It's a lot of forehead.
It looks like Ted Williams is sitting on Rafael Devers, and he's not enjoying it. All right, we'll go one down. All right, so I got my my Red Sox Weber jersey in the background because I'm such a big Red Sox fan. Let's go win one for the Fenway faithful.
You know, it's good to have that in your closet in case social unrest happens and you need to walk the street.
Yep. Now I'll just go undercover and it'll all be fine. Oh, hang on a sec. Off to a slow start here. Got to give Baltimore back to the computer. Okay, here we go. Harlan Cliff. Of your St. Louis Browns.
Shortstop, number 8, Cal Ripken Jr.
Gotta hide this guy too. Okay. Now there are a couple of St. Louis Browns you'll see in the game. St. Louis, the Browns became the Orioles. So the stars of the St. Louis Browns are eligible, and there's a handful of them, including the starting pitcher, Carl Weilman, that you'll see tonight. But here's Cal.
First baseman, Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray. He was so cool. Come on. Harlan Cliff takes off for second, but he is meat. Thanks to the 4 throwing arm of Mike Stanley. So, better luck next time.
Uh-oh.
Good seats still available.
I was going to say, this looks like a COVID year.
Yeah. But a great picture of the field, right? So, we'll go with it. There goes Pedroia. Back when I first moved here,
for Baltimore,
people would ask, that was 2012. People would ask me, hey, you like the Sox?
Boston, Center
And my
fielder,
go-to
50,
answer was,
Mookie
man, I love
Betts.
Pedroia. He's the best. And then they go, oh, yeah, we love Petey. He's the best. I'm like, yeah, dude, he's so hard-nosed, Sun Devil and all. And then before you know it, we were talking about him or something else. So
well done.
Nice little dodge, little swerve there. Avoid the question. Here's Mookie Betts doing what Mookie does.
Shortstop, Nomar.
Where we at?
25.
25?
Yeah, lefty on the mound.
All right.
So harder to steal. Nomar
Left fielder,
down.
number 9, Ted Williams.
Ted Williams. Walking. Makes sense.
First baseman, number 34, David Ortiz.
Come on now. Walking.
Take your base.
We got something going here, Roto.
Right
Almost
fielder,
looks like he's wearing
Rice.
like ski goggles. I love it.
Right? There's Ortiz, 69% to steal second. But old Ted Williams blocking him, unfortunately.
Strike 3.
Oh, Jim Rice.
Manny.
Oh, here we go. Let's get the hit streak going.
11-game hit streak for Manny Ramirez. Grounds it to Brooks.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Catcher, Gus
They
Triandos.
wiggle out of it. Here's Gus Triandos. Oh, you got a lot of that. It's off the wall.
Right fielder,
Stand up double.
number
from
21, Nick Markakis.
Gus. Markakis.
No love, Dustin Pedroia.
Let me try that. Let me try to help Nick out here. Nick Markakis. Markakis.
My dad had a friend who was a pediatrician, and he said he'd do a lot of the newborns, and so the mom would be holding this newborn baby, and sometimes he said they were a little rough in the early day, So he would just say, "Now that's a baby." They'd be like, Doc, what do you think? Now that's a baby.
There you go. Totally honest. All right, let's see. Kiss. Let's try it.
Markakis.
Oh, I think Cameron's got a suggestion. That might work.
Markakis? Okay, we'll try that next. Hang on.
Markakis.
Oh, I got it. No, I nailed it.
Oh,
Markakis.
all right.
Markakis.
It's like a victory lap.
Markakis. Markakis.
Done.
Markakis.
All right. Let's go, Nick Markakis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cameron's got another breathtaking, right?
That might have worked.
That's a good one too.
If our bullpen blows it today, you're going to hear Markakis later on. But always have to help a friend out. All right, here's Ken Williams, who's ridiculous on the year, but rough against lefties. Jim Rice is on that.
Third baseman, Brooks.
All right, Brooks.
Robinson.
Pops him up.
Third
Mookie's on
baseman,
it.
number 11, Rafael Devers.
Rafael Devers. Melvin Mora.
Second baseman, number 15.
I had an Oriole
Dustin
fan in the
Pedroia.
preseason go nuts about Melvin Mora being on the roster. Like if you look up his numbers from the early 2000s, he was ridiculous with the bat. And he plays everywhere.
Well, that was one of the arguments, right, for Cal getting a couple of days off, is he kind of was parked in front of Mora there for a bit, right?
Yeah, maybe give Melvin a little more time. Hot dog. It's a good thing I turned up that ambient crowd noise. Here's Laser Show. He got quite a bit of that. He got all of that. Oh, no, it's off the top of the wall. Man.
Oh, man. If he gone to Arizona, that would have easily cleared.
Stanley.
It looked gone. All right, Mike Stanley. Looks like Brady's on that. Yep. I didn't even check Pedro. 12% to steal third. Here's Mookie. The shot up the middle, but 6'5" of Cal is there.
Center fielder.
And we go to the top of the third, scoreless. Here's Brady Anderson, who's got a little Eddie Murray homage going here. Not bad.
Strike 3.
Second baseman, Melvin Mora.
Mora.
Strike 3.
Sitting down. Here's Harlan Clift.
Strike 3.
Man.
Wow. Here we go.
Dealing. Here's Nomar. Got quite a bit, but Brady's there. I forgot Brady Anderson started as a Red Sox.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that. Back when they thought he and Benzinger were part of the next big wave. Didn't turn out.
Or who was the? Oh man, who was that? Who was their outfielder? Mike Greenwell.
Greenwell, yeah.
Yeah.
Who should have won MVP? Well, Canseco had better numbers, but Greenwell's point was, yeah, and mine were legit. Well, you got a point there, Mike. Yeah, even Greenwell's career didn't last. It was good, but it was short, right? It wasn't as
not quite what you
monster. And Els Burks, who was probably the best of the lot, ended up in Colorado pretty quick. So much for that Boston Renaissance of the early 90s. But here's David Ortiz sitting down. We got a bunch of zeros getting put up by these lefties. Eddie Murray.
Ball 4.
Walking.
Take your base.
Oh, here we go. Look at that. What's that? Oh, yeah. Keep moving. You weren't invited. Okay. By the way, the best seat in the house for Eternal Baseball, right there, baby. Well done.
Looks comfy.
Yeah. Front row seat. He's right there with Bob Uecker. Hang on. Messed up my own camera. Okay. Gus Chiandas. Got one on, one out. Oh, I forgot the Bagwell would have been right after that batch, but they had to have Larry Anderson at the deadline. Oh, I remember one of the cool things.
Would have killed that wall. My goodness.
Dude, when interleague play came around, it took a while, but Houston ended up in at Boston. And when Bagwell came up for the first time, they gave him a really big round of applause. Just the idea of what shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? What might have been. I'm sure John Smoltz got the same treatment in Detroit. Like, I forgot Smoltz's grandfather was one of the groundskeepers for the Tigers.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So
who did they treat? It was Doyle Alexander.
Alexander, and the trick was that was '87 when they were in the dogfight with Toronto for the division, and I think Doyle went like 8-0 down the stretch. Right? Couldn't have asked for more for a rental. But God, the price on that rental was all of John Smoltz's career. Jeez. A Michigan kid. And his grandfather was just talking everybody's ear off about his little darling grandson, the prospect, killing it at AA. And one day he'll be the next Jack Morris. And he kind of was. Just
amazing.
Not there, right? All right, here's Nick Markakis, properly pronounced. Sending one to Ted. I mean, if it's hit right at Ted, he's willing to catch it. But even Ted, as I saw an interview where he said, wasn't really that interested in defense, right? Defense is what I did between trips to the plate. Okay.
It's fair. If you hit that well, I think.
Yeah, if you're Ted Williams. Yeah. Here's Jim Rice. Ooh, down the line.
Yeah, if you're Joey Cora, that doesn't quite play.
Yeah. If you're Kurt Bavacqua. Rice is in there with a stand-up double, leadoff double. Here's Manny Ramirez.
When that Lasorda tape leaked, man, that must have given Bavacqua so much pride. He must have just been beaming. So good.
No offense to anybody who makes it in the bigs, right? But nobody's remembering Kurt Bavacqua if not for that, right?
Well, didn't he have a good World Series back in? I can't even remember. Back in, what was it, 84 or whatever?
I don't think anybody had a good World Series in 84, man. Tigers swept Padres 4-0.
Or maybe it was the divisional series or something. Championship series.
I remember my mom cut out of the paper and sent to her dad in Michigan, who's a Tiger fan, after the sweep, a picture or a cartoon, and it was a tiger picking his teeth, and he had the priest's collar stuck behind one of the big bags. Pretty cool. All right, so we got they walked Manny to get to Rafael Devers with nobody out. Oh, and he hits a 9-hopper to Cal, and they turn to.
Hey, Cameron has a good story about Sweeney and Kaufman. Yeah.
Oh, here we got Mike Sweeney here.
That's cool.
Mike Sweeney also stole home against the Yankees, and we got the link to prove it. 99 home runs at Kaufman. Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
I always thought KC fans were pretty cool until I played Whit Merrifield over Frank White. And they declared war on me.
I've insulted the Pope.
They were not happy with me. I'm sorry about the stats, but so runner on third, 2 out. Who's Pedro? Again, hitting it to that Cal guy.
If we could hit it to the right side of the infield, that'd be
I'm thinking maybe. But I think we've done a good job not letting them hit it to Ortiz. So far, that's working for us. Here's Ken Williams. Near the home run lead, but he doesn't have quite enough there. Brooks Robinson. Tabbing it to Nomar. Red Sox fans still don't like Nomar. I'm like, man,
yeah.
I get that trade was kind of the final piece for the 04 Red Sox, but he was so good for so long there. I hope they turn around on like they welcome Buckner back eventually, right? Because Nomar's kind of a guy without a home. If Boston doesn't love him, who does?
Yeah, that's true, huh?
Yeah, we'll see. Here's Brady with sideburns. I wonder if he only had one sideburn. That would have been a hell of a look.
It always look like somebody who should be on 90210.
Right?
Sort of that look. I'm surprised he didn't do a cameo at some point.
There was a morning show in D.C. Might still be there called Elliot in the Morning. And Elliot was the host, but the co-host was a female. And they were talking about Orioles baseball because the Nationals didn't exist yet. And she wasn't really paying attention. And they were like, hey, are we boring you, Barbara? You know, do you want to step out maybe while we're talking baseball? And she's like, I don't mind baseball, but it's not my thing. And I don't know much about the Orioles, but I would like to eat pudding off Brady Anderson's stomach. What? Never
record scratch.
never forgot that. Here's Mike Stanley. That was before he swung at strike 3 and left Cal on deck. Mike Stanley with a nice little C9 single.
Hey, welcome, Tino.
Oh, here we go. Good to see you. Mike Stanley, 11% to steal second, Roto.
Man, they're not giving us anything here.
He's a burner. Triados has an 8 arm, too. So, yeah. But here's Mookie Betts.
Ooh.
Got a lot of that. Oh, we got all of that. Look at that. Oh, it's on the wall.
Not clear the park.
Come on.
Send him.
80% chance, but
Let's
nobody out.
Let's send him.
Brady,
we got to get a run. Let's get a run on the board.
The catcher?
Yes. Let's do it. 80%? Take it.
I'm just saying. We won't send Betts to third, though. Run, dude, run. He's in there. That's why you're the offensive coordinator, Roto. you know baseball.
Rob wants to know if she mentioned what kind of pudding.
She did not. I think that was secondary. But here's Nomar. That's going to make the stands.
Bubble!
Nomar 0 for 2 on the day. Oh, but that's getting through. Wow, I thought Mookie was going to score on that.
Really?
But they held him at third. Who knew? Well, nobody out for Ted Williams. I like our odds.
Okay, we got to run here. Send him.
Got to be a sac fly. 93% chance to be safe.
For sure.
I'm pretty comfy with that. Yeah, they don't even throw home. 2-0 Red Sox.
Man, how's our pen looking? Is it just basically palpable bomb?
I didn't realize Dutch is throwing a one-hitter here through 5 innings. That's not bad. Let's take a look at that Red Sox bullpen here. So this is what our replay sets. IA, of course, means inactive, guys who aren't active for the game today. So yeah, it is Papelbon, who's been good.
Lord.
Through 8 innings, though. Remember, relievers don't get a lot of work. Dick Raditz is not bad. Koji Uehara, not bad. Tom Bergmeyer, meh, okay.
We need about 4 more runs.
Yeah, we really do. This guy, Smokey Joe Wood, has great stats, but it hasn't really translated. I might need to get Ellis Kinder a little more time down in Pawtucket looking at this, but no Spaceman Bill Lee.
I was going to say.
So, you know what? We have some options, but let's try not to use them. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Fantastic team. And was it Cuellar, McNally, Palmer, and one more? Didn't they have 4 guys win 20 one year? Like, come on. At least 3. And they're all on the roster. So maybe we'll see them. Who knows? All right, so runner on first, 1 down. Here's Big Poppy. Ooh, he sends one down the line. It's a fair ball.
Dobson, Tino says.
Pat Dobson.
Send him.
65%.
I think you do it.
All right. Ortiz to third, 39%. But if they throw to third, we get a run.
I don't think you send him.
All right. I just wanted to see Brooks Robinson's look on his face when Ortiz makes the turn around second base. All right, here's the throw home. Nomar. He's in there.
All right.
3-0.
Let's see.
This is an easy game, though. I don't know why we struggle so often. Here's Jim Rice.
Did he get it?
You got a lot.
It's gone.
Off the wall. There must be something funky with the wall dimensions in this Fenway, but 4 runs this inning.
We still need a couple more.
Yeah, we definitely need a couple more. Flanagan. Okay, fair enough. Or no, it was Dobson. All right, fair enough. Here's Manny, 0 for 1. He's got an 11-game hit streak. Thiago says, "Don't give up a hit." In Greek. They walk him.
Oh, you coward.
Manny. Man. Here's Devers with 2 men on. Down the line, but Markakis makes the catch. And it holds the runners. Nice play. Here's Dustin Pedroia. Oh, here we go. All right. But that wasn't enough to keep her around, was it? That's probably for the best, though. I heard that guy was kind of a dick.
Is that for real?
No, that's his name.
Oh, gotcha. A little slow. That went right over my head.
Woo! Sometimes they bounce around, right? Like a screensaver. Yeah. We got the bases loaded for Mike Stanley. We could pinch hit somebody if you want to be nasty. You got Mo Vaughn on the bench. Just saying.
I don't know. You feeling? Well, who's our backup catcher? Rich Edmond?
No, it's Veritek.
Veritek?
He doesn't hit lefties, but hang on here.
Yeah.
How about Bogarts with his 2,500 OPS?
Let's do, either one. Let's do it.
Or Mo. Or you like Mo? He's got more of that.
Let's do Mo.
All right, Mo Vaughn. We're trying to put this game out of reach. So Mo Vaughn.
Pinch hitting for Boston.
Another guy that Boston fans are sour on. And he gave them some really good years. Both those guys, both Mo and Nomar, they got rid of, and their careers kind of went sour right after. So
yeah, true. Right?
I don't know that you should be mad at a guy who you got rid of or who left and then went in the tank.
It's kind of Jacoby Ellsbury too, right?
Right. Like don't be mad at Ellsbury. Be mad at Mookie Betts, right? Or be mad at management.
Ellsbury was like a double agent, like taking up all that payroll on the Yanks.
They should love him. He was great for Boston and terrible for the Yanks. So
well done, Agent Ellsbury.
I like how they followed.
Accomplished.
Yeah, they followed up Johnny Damon by doubling down on Ellsbury, basically the same player who was worse.
Well, just the minute that Scott Boras in November was like, "Yeah, sign," it's like, okay, perhaps we made a mistake.
That happened when I was very first here, and I remember being in a Dunkin'. It couldn't be a more New England story. I was in a Dunkin' Donuts drive-through the day after it happened, and a guy had a bumper sticker that was a "Got Milk" takeoff, and it just said "Got Ellsbury," and it was chiseled away at the side, but you could tell it was coming off slow.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So you saw that you knew he spent last night trying to take it off and failing. Who knew it was actually going to work out?
So good.
All right, bases loaded, pinch hit and move on. It's not gone, but it's
man, we almost
we should leave.
we almost Dave. Welcome, Dave. Almost have to pay up there.
Here we go. Oh, not bad. Should we leave Mo at catcher? Maybe.
You know, he kind of strikes me as someone who might be able to surprisingly good at that position.
He's got the size. All right, we'll bring in Tech.
Nimble. He was a little bit nimble for his size, wasn't he?
Wasn't bad. He wasn't a bad first baseman. Better to Ortiz with the glove, but all right. So Veritek comes in. He's the captain. You can tell because there's a big C on his uniform, which I thought was one of the lamest things ever, but fine.
Oh, so good.
Oh, here's Melvin Moore.
I didn't realize Knobloch was a Royal. So
Yeah,
that is
end, right.
Was he even throwing his first base at that point?
No, I think it was a left fielder by that point.
Okay, gotcha.
Totally moved him off the keystone.
When did he get the yips? Was that with the Yankees?
A little bit at the end with the Yankees. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And he also had that time where he dropped the ball, claimed he was interfered with, and blew a bubble while the winning run scored in the playoffs.
I don't remember that. That was with the.
It was in the.
At the end of his Twins career? Or?
It was with the Yankees.
Okay, gotcha.
Against, I think it was the Orioles in the playoffs. And it was some kind of small comebacker where he was covering first as the second baseman. I think the first baseman charged, got the ball, and threw it. And the runner was way out of the baseline, trying to interfere with the throw, I think. And the throw went past him. And the visual is him pointing to that the guy was out of the baseline while he blows a bubble, while the runner that was on second rounds third and scores.
Oh, gotta be careful with that big league chew, man.
New York was not happy. All right, so we got Melvin Moore on. Here's Harland Cliff.
I gotta say, I always liked Knobloch, though. He was kind of a tough nosed guy.
He was a good player. I remember the Twins, the title over the Braves, where he dekes Lonnie Smith, rounding second as I think Knobloch was a true rookie that year.
Well, that was 87 or 9? Was that 91?
91.
Yeah, okay.
That was the Jack Morris.
Okay, gotcha.
Twins one, and Lonnie Smith was like a 12-year pro. And this rookie second baseman is deking him at second base like he's about to receive the throw. When he should have scored. And he ends up hanging at second. Like, no way.
Tough clubhouse after that.
Yeah, and Knobloch's killing it for the Twins this year in eternal baseball. But the funky thing is, they've got a lot of outfielders. One of them usually DHs. So you've got this first, second base love triangle of Harmon Killebrew, who plays first, obviously, and a terrible third. Knobloch, who plays a great second and a shaky left field. And Rod friggin' Carew, who plays a pretty good first and second. And so somebody's got to sit usually. Anyway, Twins are 51-50. They're leading their division. They got nothing to complain about. Oh, here's
good pain for the Twins.
Yeah, just they got to pitch Walter Johnson every third day, basically. I hope the big trade doesn't collapse. All right, here's Cal Ripken, one down. Nomar's on it. Flip to Pedro over to Ortiz. Double play. And we go to the bottom of the sixth. Here's Mookie Betts.
2-hitter going. This is impressive. We may not even need our pen.
Dave Hummel is giving the flowers to the Phillies, who've been very good. And that's despite Mike Schmidt was rotten for the first half, and it's just starting to come on now. And we took Kurt Schilling away from them in the offseason because he never pitched for them. He was their long reliever, not even a spot starter. And he would get like 12 innings a year. So Arizona's got a tough row to hoe. And we thought, you know what? For the league in general, it's probably better off if Kurt gets 30 starts in Arizona versus 12 innings in Philadelphia. And Phillies haven't missed him. And actually, Schilling's been rotten for Arizona. So I guess it all worked out. Here's Nomar. Walking. And Teddy Williams. Last guy to hit 400, never won a World Series, but won a World War. So he's got that going for it. 2 on, 1 out, David Ortiz.
And he was legit in his service, too.
Was. And served in Korea as well. I think he was a pilot trainer in Korea. I'm not sure he was active combat.
Flying. Yeah.
He was an ace. His vision, right? The acuity of his vision translated really well to being a fighter pilot. So send Garcia Parra to third. 71% chance with 2 outs and our number 5 hitter coming up. I think we're good, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think so. Right. 39 combat missions. That's amazing.
Yeah. He's the guy. He really is. Okay, Jim Rice, 2 for 3. 2 on, 2 out. And he delivers. Single to left. 99%. Ben Nomar. I think
feel pretty comfortable with this one.
I'm good with that. Yeah, they don't even throw. Eddie Watt is now pitching for Baltimore.
Pitching for Baltimore, Eddie Watt.
Good-looking young man. Oh, and here's Manny. Runners on first and second, 2 down. Manny, who's been walked twice, 0 for 1, looking for a hit to extend his 11-game hitting streak. They walk him again. That's rough. But it loads the bases for Rafael Devers.
I love when they talk about on-base streaks, and it just doesn't have anywhere near the same mojo, right?
But this kind of thing's a shame, right? Oh, Murray almost had that. They walked him 3 times.
Yeah. But sometimes you hear, in a sports center, he's got a 47-game on-base streak. It's like, I don't know.
Okay. So they walked in a run. So Eddie Watt not getting it done. Here's Dustin Pedroia.
Strike 3.
Sitting down. It's a shame. We got to pick it up if we're going to get this in an hour. I guess I've been too yappy. It's certainly not Dutch Leonard's fault. There's Gus Triandos.
Strike 3.
Sitting down.
Man, he's dealing.
Markakis. Ted Williams.
Catcher.
Flashing the leather.
Jason Varitek.
Varitek. That's fine. Looks like Markakis is on that. Here's Mookie Betts, 2 for 4.
Ball 4.
Walking.
Take your base.
Maybe, Brent. 67%.
Let's do it.
All right, off he goes. Go get him, Mookie.
It's a good jump.
He's in there. 27. All right, we're good. Let's see what Nomar's got for us. Little pop, but Markakis is coming in. He'll hold back.
Oh, they didn't give us percentage. Come on.
Right. Here's Ted Williams.
Strike 3.
Sitting down. 103 pitches for Dutch Leonard. He can throw 135. We're in good shape here.
Excellent.
Be nice not to touch anybody's bullpen. We saw what happened to Eddie Watt.
Like how we're speeding this up. It's like those as announcers that would forget to do the all rights reserved thing at the end of a game in the 80s or whatever.
It's a good point. Got to give Manny a chance to pee inside the monster. Here's Brooks Robinson.
Would he just go into the scoreboard?
One time,
Yeah.
an inning was about to start, and there was no Manny. No Manny in left field, and they weren't like keeping tabs on him, right? They're like, "Where's Manny?" And then all of a sudden, he comes out of the Green Monster,
adjusted his belt.
There's a really small bathroom in there for the guy who changes the manual scoreboard.
Oh man!
So Manny went out to left, I guess, realized he had to go, and the closest restroom is inside the Monster. So, but he delayed the start of the inning like a minute. And then he came out. The crowd went nuts. Everybody knew what he was doing. Here's Brady Anderson and his one Cybird. Betts has got it. Robinson retreats.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs here.
Hot dogs. My favorite is when when there's a walk or a bad play. There's some dude who just goes, "No way!" Here's Melvin Mora, 2 down. Wild pitch, it looks like. Maybe a pass ball. Robinson takes second. Wild pitch. Melvin Mora.
Strike 3.
Sitting down.
So is that scoreboard known for having rats inside it?
Could be. Could be. I mean, it's old. So, okay, Baltimore, I know this game's out of hand, but Eddie Watt is done. He's already thrown more than his max amount of pitches. So we're gonna hop in here for just a second. Take control of not Boston. Take control of Baltimore just to get their bullpen working. Stu Miller, you got the most pitches.
Greg Double G.
Who do you want? Greg Olson?
No, is there the closer?
It doesn't matter, right? I don't think he is. I think it's Bautista or Zach Britton. So gotcha. I can give you a Double G. Watt looks fine. Well, the pitch count says different. Either way, he's got to face Ortiz.
So Rob's saying rats the size of poodles. So good. That must be it. That guy who works there must have some pretty good stories.
Not a bad job. All right, so since we're Baltimore, we're going to visit the mound. Watt looks tired, no doubt. We'll get Mr. Olson in.
Pitching for Baltimore, Greg Olson.
And we'll give control back to the computer. There we go. 47% for Big Poppy.
Let's do it. We're up 6, right? You want to do it?
I just want to look on Cal's face.
Let's do it.
When Ortiz takes off. He's off and running. He's dead. It was worth it.
Oh, Cameron's got a little addendum here.
Oh, here we go. Let's see here. That's pretty cool. Okay. Here's Jim Rice, 3 for 4. Sitting down. Manny Ramirez.
Here we go.
0 for 1.
Ball 4.
Well, at least
in a 6-0 game, Baltimore, it's kind of gutless.
At least the on-base streak's still there.
Yeah, right? He led the league in walks today. Brr.
He should be your player of the day.
He might be. So we're going to the 9th. Dutch Leonard's got 16 pitches to get through this. He's
got to go all the way
against the top of the order.
Such a gem. Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Off the wall somehow. Lead off double. Here's Cal Ripken.
Come on, Dutch.
Look at Ortiz. Marvelous. Looking like JT Snow out there. 1 down, runner on third. Here's Eddie Murray.
I'd forgotten about JT Snow.
Oh,
darn it.
Eddie Murray ruins the shutout. And Baltimore's on the way back, 6-1. Dutch Leonard's only got 2 pitches left of that arm, so I hate to be that guy.
Don't be that guy. I
It's
guess we got
not
to
a
get
save situation. So
Papelbon in. Let's
you
get
can pick
Papelbon.
anybody you want, but Papelbon's the closer.
Let's do it.
All right. Even Red Sox fans are going, screw that guy. All right, Papelbon warming up. Triando sits down.
Let's let him finish it.
Hold on, let me see here. Yeah, he's much worse against lefties. So an absolutely exhausted Dutch Leonard will deliver his 138th pitch.
Just stagger across that finish line, Dutch.
Nick Marquez. Veritek's like, I know your arm's about to fall off, but keep the ball down.
Cowboy up, man.
Right?
Strike 3.
Oh, he did it.
Oh, look at that.
The final score from Fenway Park, Boston 6, Baltimore 1. Dutch Leonard is the winner. He is now 9-4 on the season. Carl Weilman is the loser. He is now 10-10 on the season. Time of the game, 3 hours, 27 minutes.
So long. I don't know what Red Sox fans are happier about, the win or the fact that they didn't have to see Papelbon pitch. Either way, wow, and Leonard didn't even have good stuff today.
He had negative stuff?
One negative, yeah. But
wow.
Nine innings, 1 earned run, 10 strikeouts. I'll take it.
Wow.
And Carl Weilman took it on the chin, 6 earned in 5 2/3 innings. Your player of the game is Dutch Leonard. That makes sense.
Well done.
So there you go. That'll complete the Monday scoreboard. Boston gets another game up on Baltimore. But they're still both owning the 2 wild cards. And I think they were the wild card winners last year, too. So we may see both of them in the playoffs. Baltimore's in a bit of a tailspin, though. They need to wake it up. But I don't know if it was a good game. It was fun for us because we don't run away with things very often. And we got to try to get David Ortiz to steal second base, which is a big win. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We do the Eternal Baseball podcast every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We try to feature every team at least one time during the season. And as we get towards the end, we try to focus on the games that are the most consequential to the standings and the playoff run. And we do have some good playoff or division contention this year. So hopefully that'll stay through the end. You can find out more about the league at best places, our homepage. That's eternalbaseball.com. We're also very active on Facebook and also on Twitter and some on Instagram as well. Just check us out. Look for Eternal Baseball. We have games every day except Saturdays. That's a travel day, but also when the Eternal Baseball newsletter goes out, which, good news, it's totally free, and you can sign up for it at eternalbaseball.com. So thanks for joining us. If we did something wrong, let us know about it. We have team-specific message boards at eternalbaseball.com. If somebody's not active who should be, if somebody's active who shouldn't be, let us know. It's we've always been pretty honest that it's hard to keep a close eye on 32 teams simultaneously. So if you see a way that your favorite team could possibly be more competitive, let us know about it. We want every team to have their best shot to win. And we're excited getting down the stretch here.
Yeah.
So we appreciate the diehards who are back. We appreciate the new guys dropping by. We're so proud of our win tonight. And we'll try to do it again next week on another edition of
Thanks, everyone. It was a lot of fun. Oh,
Baseball.
cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll see you next week on another edition of the Eternal Baseball Podcast.